All right, everybody, Mr. G here. Things are going to be a little bit different today. With start testing going on, we're going to all have to stay in the rooms. So the way I'm going to do it is you're going to have this assignment. We are going to be learning something new today, so I'm making this video to go over everything, and then you will be doing the work on your own. Make sure you put your name on everything. I'm going to try to make this a whole packet, so put your name on everything in case something gets torn out or something by accident, then it has your name on it. We know whose it is. Alright, so we're going to talk about add and subtract time intervals. So, I do it, you do it on your paper. You can find elapsed time by counting from the starting time to the finishing time. You can use what you have learned about time to solve problems. Elapsed time is the amount of time that passes from one time to another. You can find elapsed time by looking at the change in time on a clock. So, problem 1. Kenji is driving to Dallas. He leaves home at 9 a.m. He arrives in Dallas at 11:50 a.m. How long is the drive? We do have a little word problem here. I'm not going to go through each step of Scooby. I'm just going to show you what Scooby should look like. So, how long? Leaves home at 9 a.m. and arrives at 11:50 a.m. You can add time to find out when something is going to happen. So step 1. Count the whole hours. Start at 9 a.m. From 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. is how many hours? We go from 9. We go around to 10. Then we go around to 11. So we got 1, 2. 2 hours. Okay. Step 2. Count the minutes from 11 a.m. to 11:50 a.m. Count by 5s. Now remember, on the clock, each time we count, each space is 5. So the 12 o'clock would be like 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Now I know I said that 12 is like the 0, and I say it's a 0 because 1, we start counting at 5. But you also have to remember when you're counting by 5s all the way around, when you get to the 12, that's actually 60 because there's 60 minutes in 1 hour. Okay. So now we have to count the minutes from 11 to 11:50. So we're counting by 5s. So we're going 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So from 11 a.m. to 11:50 a.m. is 50 minutes. Step 3. From 9:50 to 11:50, the elapsed time is 2 hours. We have the 2 hours up here. 50 minutes. So, how long is the drive? The drive is 2 hours, 50 minutes. Okay, 2 hours and 50 minutes. Now, if you're having trouble understanding what we just did, then my advice would be to go back, rewind this, and watch this video again. Okay, it's not going to hurt to watch it again if you don't not understand. Okay, if you need it, you need it. If you don't, then you would just move on. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next page. Problem 2. Cindy started her homework 20 minutes ago. The clock shows the present time. At what time did Cindy start her homework? So again, small word problem. I'm going to do Scooby. I'm not going to go through the steps. I'm just going to do it. So, at what time did Cindy start her homework? Cindy started her homework 20 minutes ago. The clock shows the present time. Okay. So first, I need to see what time it is on the clock right now. So I know that each one of these is 5 again. So I'm going to go 5, 10, 15. So my big hand is at 15. My other one is in between 4 and 5. Well, it's not past 5 yet, but it is past 4. So the time right now is 4:15. 4:15. Now this says that she started her homework 20 minutes ago. So you can subtract time to find out how much time has passed. Use what you know about elapsed time to solve the problem. What is the time now? Well, we said that the time right now is 4:15. For how long has Cindy been doing her homework? Well, she started 20 minutes ago. So she's been doing her homework for 20 minutes. Step 2. Start at 4:15, count back 20 minutes, count back by 5s. So you can see they're counting backwards by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20. So this is what the time would look like 20 minutes ago. Okay. So what time do you end on? Well, before, it was 4:15 at the start. We went back 20 minutes. So we go back 5, 10, 15 minutes. That makes it 4 o'clock. Now, since we're going to go back 5 more, it's not going to be 4 o'clock anymore. It's going to be 3 o'clock. And now we have to count to 5s until we get to the 11. So that would be counting the other way now. So that would be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. So 3:55. Okay. Now, if you notice, when we counted backwards, it stopped at the 11. Okay. That gives us 5 more minutes to get to 4 o'clock. So 5 minutes before 4 o'clock would be 3:55. So what is the time 20 minutes earlier than 4:15? It is 3:55 p.m. At what time did Cindy start her homework? She started her homework at 4:15 p.m. Okay. Now I know it's kind of hard to see and understand. Okay, I know it can be confusing. But if you count by 5s, like it says, count backwards by 5s, then you'll realize that the time going backwards will take you back to 3 o'clock because it goes past the 12. So we go back to 3 o'clock. But it's not quite 4 o'clock. So we only needed to go back 5 more minutes from 4 o'clock. So that's why it makes it 3:55 p.m. Alright, next one. We're going to look at some problems now. Okay, so I'm going to work one problem from each page, and then you're going to work the rest on your own. Okay, so let's look at number 1 together. Eva starts cooking dinner at the time shown on the clock. She thinks it will take 2 hours and 15 minutes to make dinner. She says dinner will be ready at 5 p.m. Is she correct? So we want to know, is she correct? So she thinks it will take 2 hours and 15 minutes to make dinner. She says dinner will be ready at 5 p.m. Okay. So the first thing we need to do is we need to see what time it is now. So she started at the time shown on the clock. Again, each one of these is 5. Now you don't need to label these every time if you know it. If you don't know them, then label it. It's the only thing that's going to help you. Okay? So if we look at the smaller hand, it is pointing between 1 and 2, which makes it 1 o'clock. Why? Because it's past 1, but it's not quite to 2, so it would be 1 o'clock. So 1, I count by 5s to the other hand, 45. So 1:45 is the time on the clock. She says it's going to take 2 hours and 15 minutes. Okay. See, 1:45 to 2:45. That's 1 hour. To 3:45 is 2 hours. And then we have 15 minutes. So each one is counts by 5. So we have 5, 10, 15. Sorry, I did that wrong. 5, 10, 15. So that would make it 4 o'clock. One more time. The time shows 1:45. She says it's going to take 2 hours and 15 minutes. 1:45 to 2:45 is 1 hour. 2:45 to 3:45 is 1 hour. And then 15 minutes makes it 4 o'clock. So, is she correct? She said it would be ready at 5. Well, we see it's going to be ready at 4, so no. So if it says yes, it's out. Okay. So let's look at C. No. 2 hours and 15 minutes after 1:45 is 4 p.m. Maybe. Because that's what we got, right? 4 p.m. D. No. 2 hours and 15 minutes after 2:45 is 4 p.m. Well, it's 2 hours and 15 minutes after 2:45, 4 p.m. No. 2 hours and 15 minutes after 2:45 would be 5 o'clock. We said it's going to be ready at 4. So our answer is C. Alright, let's go on to the next page. The movie starts at 1:30. Alexis wants to get there 5 minutes early and needs 15 minutes to pick up her friend. Which clock shows the time she has left the house? So again, Scooby, I'm not going to go over the steps. I'm just going to do it. So which clock shows the time she left the house? Movie starts at 1:30. Alexis wants to get there 5 minutes early and needs 15 minutes to pick up her friend. Okay. So the movie starts at 1:30. She needs 5 minutes. She wants to get there 5 minutes early. So 1:30, 5 minutes earlier, we need to subtract 5 minutes. If we were subtracting 5 minutes, we would be doing it here. Okay. So we cannot do this. So we would go here and borrow. That would turn into a 2, 10, 5, 2, 1, 25. All I did was bring this down. Okay. It would be 125. But she also needs 15 minutes to pick up her friend. So we have 125. We need to subtract 15. Five minus 5 is 0. 2 minus 1 is 1. 1, 10. Okay. Now, we see and notice that 110 is the answer A. Okay. Now, there is another way we could have done this. Okay. You could have used your clock. Okay. You could have drawn your own clock. You could have drawn the time. And you could have gone back the minutes that she needs. Okay. So let's say we were drawing the clock. Okay. So this would be 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and you have 12. Sorry, 12. Okay. 1:30. Okay, 1:30. So I just count backwards the minutes. So I have 1:30. If I go backwards 1, I'll be here now. So that's 1:25. And then I need 15 more minutes. So 5, 10, 15 would be 1:10. Okay. Let's go to the next page. Bryce arrived home from school at 3:45. He spent 50 minutes eating a snack and doing homework. Then Bryce left for baseball practice. What time did Bryce leave for baseball practice? Again, Scooby. I'm not going to go through the steps, just going to do it. Bryce arrived home from school at 3:45. Spent 50 minutes eating a snack. So, we need to find 3:45 on the number line here. 3:45 is right here. 3:45 is right here. He spent 50 minutes eating a snack and doing homework. 50 minutes, okay? So, if we look at our number line here, we have to figure out what the number line is counting by. Okay. Now, if you notice, we have 3:30 here, and then it goes to 3:45. Well, we know that's 15 minutes. So let's see. 5, 10, 15. So each little line is 5. Each little line is 5. Okay. Now, he started at 3:45. And he spent 50 minutes. So all we gotta do is count 50. Now, I can do this a few ways. I can go and I can count by fives until I get to 50. Okay. If I can do 15, then I can do 15 and that'll be easier. So I know that from here to here is 15 minutes. I know from here to here is 15 minutes. I know from here to here is 15 minutes. Okay. So if I do 15 plus 15, that's 30. And if I do 30 plus 15, that's 45. Okay. So 2 4 30 is 45 minutes, and he did 50 minutes. So I could go 5 more, and that would make 50. So I can count 430, 435. So 435 would be my answer. Alright, next page. Math class began at 10:30 a.m. The students solved warm-up problems the first 10 minutes. The teacher taught for 15 minutes, and the students worked in math groups for half an hour before going to lunch. What time did the students go to lunch? Okay, again, Scooby. What time did they go to lunch? Math class began at 10:30. The clock shows 10:30. The students solved warm-up problems for the first 10 minutes. The teacher taught for 15 minutes. And the students worked in math groups for a half hour before going to lunch. Okay. So first I have to find what time it is on the clock. If I look at the time on the clock, we have the smaller hand, which is the hour hand, in between 10 and 11, which means it's 10 because it's past 10, but it's not to 11 yet. So 10. And then my minutes hand is pointing to the 6, which is 30. So 10:30. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to add the time because they did these things for this much amount of time before they went to lunch. So all we have to do is count. So the first one is 10 minutes. So we're going to count by fives because each one is 5. So we have 5, 10 would be here. So I'm done with 10. Then the teacher taught for 15 minutes. So 5, 10, 15. And then it says that they worked in math groups for half an hour. Half an hour is 30 minutes. So now I'm going to count 30 minutes. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So right here is where it would stop. Okay. So the minute hand would be here. Now, once I go, this hand goes around. Once it goes past the 12, which it did, it's not 10 anymore, it is 11. We keep counting the time until we get to here. Count by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So the time would be 11, 25. D. All right, next page. At 2 p.m., Parsa completed his chores. He recorded the time he spent on each chore in this table. What time did Parsa begin his chores? So we want to know what time he started. Okay. So So if we look at the word problem, we see that at 2 p.m., Parsa completed his chores. So we need to mark 2 p.m. because that's what time he finished the chores. Okay. They want to know what time he began the chores. Okay. So we want to know what time he began. This shows us what time he ended. In order to find out what time he began, we have to go backwards. Okay. So he made his bed. It took him 10 minutes. So if I look at my number line here, I can see that, see, from 2 to 15, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 15. So there's 15 minutes between each of the times. So each line is 5 minutes. So I'm counting backwards. So he made his bed. It took him 10 minutes. So 5, 10. Folded clothes. Took him 15 minutes. 5, 10, 15. He swept the floor. Took him 15 minutes. 5, 10, 15. And he took out the trash. It took him 5 minutes. And it stops at 1:15 p.m. A. Alright, last page. Now, this last page is going to be a little more challenging. Okay, you're going to have to write in the answers. Okay, so it's going to be a little more challenging. So number 5. A makes molasses cookies. He puts the cookies into the oven at 425. The cookies need to bake for 15 minutes and then cool for 25 minutes. Draw the time on the clock to show what time Abe can eat the cookies. What time did you draw on the clock? Okay, so he put the cookies in at 425. Okay, so I'm going to draw 425. Now remember, you have a pencil, so you're able to erase if you need to. So 425. So I'm going to draw my hour hand in between 4 and 5. And I'm going to draw my minute hand at 25. Okay, so that would be what the time looks like. The cookies need to bake for 15 minutes, so I'm going to count 15 minutes. So 5, 10, 15, 15 minutes. Okay. Now, they need to cool for 25 minutes. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay. So, when my minute hand goes all the way around, which is going to go all the way around to the 12, the time is going to change from 4 to 5. Once it goes past 12, that's another 5. It will be 5:05. Now on these, do what you can. Okay. If you happen to get done with the whole packet, you can get on BrainPop Junior. There are some assignments that I have assigned. You can do, there's one about perimeter, and there are a few on time. You can watch those videos, do the quizzes. If you get finished with BrainPop Junior, then you can go to Splash Learn. You can do any of the problems with perimeter and any of the ones with time. I have already assigned them all so that you can start working on it. So if you need any help, you can ask your teacher, see if they can help. If they cannot help, you can ask them if you can ask another student. Whatever you need to do, okay? But I need to see Scooby, and I need to see you working these problems. Okay? I need to see your work. Make sure you get it all done. whatever you do not finish in class will be homework. Whatever you do not finish in class will be homework. Okay? So one more time, if you finish the packet, you will go to BrainPop Junior. You will look at the videos Perimeter and any that have time. I've assigned them already, so all you have to do is go to your notifications and do them. If you get done with the BrainPop Junior, then you can get on Splash Learn and do any of the time or perimeter ones. Okay? All right.